Hi, I'm Chris from D'Addario Accessories, and today I'd like to talk to you about our two versions of our GH humidifier. These are sound hole humidifiers designed predominantly for acoustic guitars and acoustic basses and classical guitars. And the purpose of these two models basically is to give the owner of these instruments some control over maintaining the humidity of your guitar. The reason that's important is because when a guitar dries out, the wood starts to shrink. And if it dries out too much, that wood is going to shrink to the point of cracking. And that's a very expensive repair to have to execute on an acoustic guitar or bass. And also it does permanent damage, of course, that can't be undone. So we have two models here to talk about today. We have our regular guitar humidifier and our Guitar Humidifier Pro. Starting with the regular guitar humidifier, basically they're very similar form factors. But with the regular guitar humidifier, we're basically using a standard sponge. And so normally what you would want to do in order to add humidity to your instrument is you would want to run this under some tap water, make sure it's nice and wet, but you don't want it dripping wet. So you want to squeeze out the excess water and then reinsert it inside the humidifier. And then you put the cap back on and you basically drop it in between the G and the D strings of your acoustic guitar. And over time, it will slowly release the water from the sponge into the inside of your acoustic guitar and try its best to maintain its humidity. So the one thing to be careful about when using any guitar humidity product is the fact that you really have to keep an eye on it as far as how quickly the sponge is going to dry out. That will differ depending on how dry your guitar in case were when you started using a guitar humidifier. And it will also be influenced, of course, by the weather conditions or the heat and humidity in your room or studio. So it's very important not to get a false sense of security just because you wet the sponge and put it in your guitar. You really do have to check it every few days to see if it needs to be soaked again, because in many cases in dry environments, those instruments need to be consistently replenished with moisture. And then if we move from the Guitar Humidifier to the Guitar Humidifier Pro, you can see this is a slightly larger form factor. It's got a nicer pressure fit lid, but the biggest upgrade that you're really getting with the Guitar Humidifier Pro is this updated sponge. This sponge actually holds almost 10 times the amount of moisture as a regular sponge. So this is slightly more expensive in comparison, but you get the added benefit of knowing that you can get a lot more moisture into this sponge. You would use it and activate it in much the same degree, but in this particular case, you could probably get away with only checking the sponge maybe every 7 to 10 days. So you're really getting a little bit more of a convenience factor, but the use and the control of the humidity of your instrument is very similar. So these are the two sound hole humidifier products that D'Addario offers. We've got the Guitar Humidifier and the Guitar Humidifier Pro, and I encourage you to check them out.